Today we will be discussing about iterative statements in Java. In this, we are going to discuss about the while loop, do while loop, for loop, and enhanced for loop. Statements means we have decision. What is the first one? Decision statements. Okay, conditional statement. Then in that we saw all the forms of if. Second one is iteration statements for, while, and do while. Third one is what? Jump statements. What do you mean by jump statements? You can jump anywhere. Okay. What are the jumping statements in C?
Go to.
Continue.
Go to.
Continue.
Return, yes. Break. Okay. In Java, however, you don't have go to. There are only three things: break, continue, and return. Okay. There are only three jumping statements: break, continue, and return. Okay, go to is not there because it is not good practice to use go to. However, go to is reserved. Okay, it is reserved. It is a keyword. Okay, so you cannot give a variable name as go to because it's a reserved keyword. They have reserved it for other versions of Java. Till now, they have not defined what is go to. Okay, so there are only three jump statements. What are they? Break, continue, and go to. Go to is a reserved keyword which is used for future use. Okay. These statements transfer the control to another part of the program. Today morning we saw a statement, something which also changes the flow of execution, isn't it? Whenever there is an exception, whether the next statement will execute or control will be transferred to catch. Whenever there is an exception, control will be transferred to
Catch, ma'am.
catch, isn't it? Okay, so there is also another way to change the flow of execution, which is exception handling. Okay, so now we are going to see only these three things: break, continue, and return. So tell me, which are the ways in which you can transfer the control to any part of the program in Java? Means break, continue, return, and exception handling. Okay, break. We'll see break first. It has three uses. Break has three uses. One is in switch. If you use break, what does it do?
It terminates.
Terminates
Comes to the
switch,
next case, ma'am.
isn't it? Terminates the switch, isn't it? Terminates the statement sequence in switch. It can be used to exit any loop. If you write break within any loop, can you exit it? Yes.
Yes.
Then used as a civilized form of goto. Civilized form of goto means a good form of goto. Since goto is it's not advisable to be used, you can use break. It is however rational compared to goto. Okay. Using break to exit a loop. We have already done an example for this, isn't it? Same thing in C, whatever you have done, the same thing. When break statement is encountered inside a loop, the loop is terminated and the program control resumes at the next statement following the loop. Okay, I've written all the conditions. While condition, break means where does it go? Will it go to while statement or it will go out of the loop? Even in do while, it comes out of the loop. Even in for, if you encounter a break, it comes out of the loop. Okay,
Loop.
Same thing only, whatever we have seen in C. Okay, now in this program, class demo public static void main int I equal to 0, I less than 100, I plus plus. Okay, so it has to print 0 to 100, 0 to 99. However, when I value is 10, what it does? Break. So what is output of this program? 0 to 9. 10 equal to 10, it is true. So break means comes out of the for loop. So it comes to this point, isn't it? It comes to this point. There is no statement here, so it won't execute. So this is the output of the. Okay. So break. It can be any loop. It can be a for loop also. It can be while also. It can be do while also. It comes out of the loop. Okay. Now, this is one more example. Using while loop. Same thing using while loop. While I less than 100, if I equal to 10, break. Okay. Output is 0 to 9. 0 to 9. Yes. Here also. If you use do while also, the output is the same. Break means it will go out of the while loop. It will come to this line. Okay. After while. In do while, it will come after while. In while, it goes out of the while loop. Okay. Now tell me, in case of nested loops, what does it happen? There is one for loop, another for loop. Within a for, I have another for. Within that nested inside for, I have one if condition. Now break will terminate out of which program? Which for loop?
That
Jth
inside
for
for
loop.
loop, ma'am.
Most loop.
Inside or outside?
Inside for loop.
Inside for loop. So when I equal to 0, j becomes 0, j becomes 1, j becomes 2, j becomes 3. When j equal to 4, it breaks and goes to which place?
I loop.
Outside for
I equal to 1. It goes to I equal to 1. Then when I equal to 1, it will print from 0 to, so it will go from 0 to 4. After j equal to 4, where does it go? I becomes
true.
1.
I becomes 2. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, so break will come out of only the inside for. Okay, now. So this is a traditional form of break, isn't it? There is one form of break. This break is not labeled. This is called unlabeled break. There is no label for break. So it is called unlabeled break. You have the other form of break, which is called labeled break. So how many types of breaks are there? Two
2
types,
types.
labeled and unlabeled. Okay. Whatever we have seen now is an example of what? Unlabeled.
Unlabeled.
So we will see a labeled break. It is again a form of go to only. In C, we have seen go to A, no? Same way here we have break label. Okay. Break label name. Say one example, we'll see an example. Break label name. Here the label name itself is label. Okay. So the syntax for label break is break label. Okay. Suppose you have one while within another while. There are 5 nestings of while. You wanted to come out of all the loops. If you use break within the inner loop, what happens? It comes out
It
of the
comes
inner
out
loop
of the
only, isn't it?
Inner loop.
I want to come out of all the loops. In that case, I will be using break label. Okay. Go to can be useful when we exit from a deeply nested set of loops. When we need to exit from a deeply nested set of loops. Now we'll see the syntax. There are 2 whiles, while within a while, nested while, and I have a condition 3 within the inner while, break label. Now tell me, where does it take me out? Break label takes me out of all the loops because in the syntax, see where I have defined the label? Near the outer while. If I have declared label in the inner while, it will come out of the inner while only. But I have declared the label near the first while. So it will go out of both the while loops. Breaks the outer loop as well. We'll see a program, then you will understand. See in this case, there are 2 for loops. When j equal to 3, break outer. Tell me the output of this program. When I equal to 0, j is 0. J equal to 3, 0 equal to 3 means no. So it will go to system.out.println and I value is 0, j value is
1. It
1,
gets
no, 0 only first.
0.
Then j becomes 1. Inner loop will increment. J becomes 1. Again 1 not equal to 3. So it will come and print both I, j. What is the answer? I is 0, j is
1.
1.
Then j becomes 2. 2 is not equal to 3. It will print both I and j, 0 and
2.
2.
then j becomes 3. 3 equal to 3. 3 equal to 3. Yes.
0 and 3.
Break outer. So where I have declared this outer label? Near the
Outside.
for. So how
First
do you
for.
declare a variable? Label? Any name you can give. Okay. Inner, outer, any name, anything you can give. But give a colon after label. Okay. So break outer means where it will break. Wherever this outer is there, no? So where is the close of this for loop? Here. So it breaks out of the outer loop. So output is I equal to 0, j equal to 0, I equal to 1, j equal to 1, I equal to 0, j equal to 2. It will not do go. See, suppose in this case, if you have done break, only break, what happens? What is the output of this program?
It comes only of that particular.
Only break is there. So what is the output of that program? It will
Never
break
hand.
only from the inner loop, isn't it? So you will have one more iteration. I equal to 1, j equal to 0, I equal to 1, j equal to 1, I equal to 1, j equal to 2. You'll have one more iterations also. Okay. I equal to 2, j equal to 0, all that. Then when I becomes 3, 3 less than 3, at that time only it will fail. So if you put a break here, it will come out of only the inner for. If you want to come out of the outer for, then you have to use break with a label. Where you should declare the label? Wherever you want to terminate. Okay. So if you write outer in the second for, it will, again, there is no meaning. Break outer and break also will work like the same. Okay. So what is the use of break with a label? What is the use of break with a label? You can exit from a deeply nested loops. Okay. So to name a block, what you should do? Put a label at the start of it. A label is any valid Java identifier followed by a colon. After labeling, we can use this label as a target of the break statement. Doing so causes to resume at the end of the labeled block. At the end of the labeled block. Did you understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. This we don't have in C. In C, we have only break. Here we have break with label.
Label.
Similarly, continue. What will continue do? What will continue do? Break comes out of the loop. What will continue do? What will continue do?
Condition again and again.
Stops the current iteration. When continue is encountered, it stops the current iteration and control will run to which place? Control will run to which place?
The first condition while.
Control will run to next iteration.
Next.
Next iteration. It is useful to force an early iteration of the loop. So there are two forms of continue, like break only. Unlabeled continue, labeled continue. Unlabeled means you should use only continue with a semicolon. Labeled means you should write continue with a label name. Label can be any identifier. Okay. Unlabeled continue. Okay. While condition statements, if you have a condition, continue. Now, if I write break here, where does it go? It comes out of the loop. Here it will come, isn't it? Break means it comes out. But if you write continue, what happens? Whether this statements will be executed or not.
Yeah, it stops and goes to next.
It stops. It won't execute the statement. It will stop and go to the next iteration. Similarly, in do while also. After continue is encountered, it will go to the while condition. Similarly, here also, if continue is encountered, where does it go? In for loop, where does it go? In for loop, where does it go? Increment, decrement,
operation.
end condition. Okay. Example. We'll see an example. Int I equal to 5. I've written a reverse loop. So I starts from 5. If I greater than 0, I minus minus. So first 5 means I minus minus means it will become 4. 4 equal to 3 is false. So it will go and print system.out.println. So I get 4. Then it will go to the while loop. Okay, after executing this statement, normally it will go to the next while only. Okay, so now it is 4. 4 greater than 0 is true. So it will do I minus minus 3. Okay, 3 equal to 3.
Yes, ma'am.
3 equal to 3 is true, isn't it? So continue will be encountered. Continue will be encountered means what it will do? Without printing 3, where does it go? It will go to the
condition.
Okay, now it is 3, isn't it? 3 minus minus becomes 2. 2 equal to 3 is false. So it will print. So 2, answer will get 2. Okay. Similarly, then I becomes 2, isn't it? Then it will come here 2 greater than 0. It becomes I minus minus means 1. 1 equal to 3 is false. So system.out.println
Printed.
1. Then 1 greater than 0. True, right? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
I minus minus 0. 0 equal to 3 is false. So it will come and print 1. Okay. Okay. Suppose if you have given break here, what is output? What is output if you have given break here?
If it is not equal, it just comes out of the loop.
Yeah.
Only 4, ma'am.
Only 4. Isn't it? 4 equal to 3. It will print 4. Then 3 means 3 equal to 3. Break means it will stop the loop. Answer is only 4. Since we have given continue, it will stop the current iteration and then continue with the next iteration. Okay. So this statement system.out.println 3 will not be done, only for 3. Other things it will be done. Okay. So this is unlabeled continue, isn't it? Labeled continue means what? Continue label. Suppose you have nesting while within while and you don't want to continue with the inner while. You want to go to the outer while. Then you will use continue label. Okay. So see here you have, if you want to use this continue label, if you give continue, it will go only to this while loop, isn't it? So continue label, if you give to any nesting, it will go. But whenever you start this while, you have to give a label. Okay. So class demo. here, public static void main. Just go through this program for 1 minute. I'll just have water. Just go through this for 1 minute. See what is output? When I equal to 1, 0, it comes to j. J equal to 0, 1, 2, it will print. Then when j is 3, it will go continue outer, isn't it? So where does it go? Continue outer means where does it go?
For I loop.
First for
It goes to I loop.
First for-
So it will not go to this for, it will go to the outer for. Okay. So break with label, continue with label. Break with label breaks to any nestings. Okay. Similarly, break, continue with label, you can continue with any iteration. Okay. Yes. So these are the 3 things we saw new in this. What are they? First one is for each loop, break with label, continue with label. Any doubt in these 3 things?
Continue with label. No, ma'am.
That's it, right? The last one is return. Return statement is used to explicitly return from called method to calling method. Okay. So it causes the program control to transfer back to the caller of the method. Suppose I have a method called M1. I have a main method. Main calls M1. After executing, I have a return statement in M1. Where does it go? Return means where does it go? I have a method called M1. I have a main method. Main calls M1. Then I have a return statement in M1. Where does it go?
To the main one.
To the main, isn't it? So what I'm trying to ask is, I have a method called M1. I have a method called M1. Okay. In this, I have just I have a return statement. Return. Okay. And now I have a main method. Within main, I'm calling M1. So M1 will be called, and when you execute return, where does it go? Where does
Main.
return go? Return goes to
Main.
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 Supposing that you don't have this, you have a return statement here. Where does it go? You have a return statement here. Where does it go? Who calls main in Java? Who calls main? Huh? JVM. So control will be returning to JVM. That means your program is stopped. So in main, if you write return, what it will happen? The control will return to JVM. That means it will stop the program. So in any place, if you want to stop the program, you can use return. Just return with a semicolon. Okay. Return with a semicolon. Yes, the last sheet. Okay. Return statement. The return statement is used to explicitly return from called method to the calling method. It causes program control to transfer back to the caller of the method. Return statement in main method causes execution to return to which place? Java runtime system means which one?
JVM.
JVM. Okay. In case of C, a return, if you write in main, it will return to operating system. But in case of Java main, if you write return within main, it will go to JVM. Okay. Syntax is just return with a semicolon. Class demo public static void main. Boolean t equal to true. If of t. So if of t means true. If of true means where? Return. So what is output of this program? What is the output of the program? Return in main will return to JVM. So what is the output of this program?
Before return.
Only before return. After return will not be printed because return will means just stops this program. So output is only before return. So as soon as return is executed, control passed back to the caller. That's all. So with this second module is completed. So I have just left this topic, iteration statements and operators. Operators we saw in the previous class. Today we have completed. We have just completed which one? So one more thing, I just have got some objectives. Yeah. This one is related to exception which we were not able to complete today in the morning. Just tell me the output of this program. Class, demo, public static void main, string args. Tell me the output of this program. Are you able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me the output of this program. What is output? I equal to 100, j equal to 200, while plus I less than minus j, semicolon. If I put semicolon at the end of while loop, what does it mean? There's no do here. If I put semicolon at the end of while loop, what is the meaning? It is a while loop without statements. Okay. So it will simply execute this condition. Plus I less than j, minus j. So what is our output? What is the output?
100.
101 less than 199. Like that, it will keep on going. At one place, it will stop. Which place? 150 less than 150, 150. When I becomes 150 and j becomes 150, at that time, this condition becomes false. So what is the value? If you print I, what is the output of this program?
150.
Output is 120. So what you should understand from this is that you can have a while loop without statement. So what you should put at the end? You should put a semicolon. In this case, only this condition you have, since you have an increment and decrement. If you don't have this, what it will become? It will become an infinite loop, because I is always less than j, because I is 100, j is 200. Since I have a decrement and increment operator here, it will execute. So at which point it will stop? When it reaches the midpoint. So output of this program is
150.
See the second program and tell me the output. Class demo public static void main int I equal to 1. What is the output? What is the output of the second program?
1, 2,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we'll see. When I is 1, it will print 1. So it will print 1. Then when plus I means 2. So 2 less than or equal to 5. So it will print 2. Then 3. Then 4. Then 5. Okay. Then at one point I becomes 6. Plus I becomes 6. So 6 less than or equal to 5 is false. So it will stop. Okay. Yeah. The output is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's correct. Okay. Now tell me the output of the third program. I'll show you. Wait. Tell me the output of the third program. Class demo public static void main string args I equal to 1. Do system.out.println I. See the while condition. What is the while condition here? I plus less than or equal to y. What is the output?
1 to 6.
Do remember here it will check the condition and then increment. Okay.
yes.
So when I is 1, what is our output? 1 we will print. Okay. Then after checking the condition, it will become 2. So it will go here because previously 1 was less than or equal to 5, isn't it? That itself is true. But when it comes here, I becomes 2. So 3, 4, 5. Okay. 5 less than or equal to 5 is true. Okay. Then it will become 6. Okay. So it will come and print what? 6. Okay. So in the next iteration only 6 less than or equal to 5 becomes false. So the output of this program is 1 to
6.
Okay. 1 more. Oh, this is nothing but what we have seen earlier only, 2-dimensional array. Okay. We have seen this 2-dimensional array, linear search and all we have seen already. Just go through this program 6. I'll just make it in one page. Program 6. Class demo public static void main string args I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. System.out.println I. So when I is 0, first it will print I equal to 0, wasn't it? Then j equal to 0, j less than 5. So first it will print j and then j value 0 and give a space. It is not 4, so it will go to j, 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4. 4 space it will print. 4 equal to 4 means break. Now break comes out of which loop?
J.
Out.
Break means inner for. Okay, wherever you break, the current loop only it will break. So control will go to which one?
Ith loop.
I equal to 0. Okay, so in this case what happens when I equal to 0, in the next line it will print 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, then I becomes 1 0 1 2 3 4. I equal to 2, answer is 0 1 2 3 4. When I is 3, 3 less than 3 is 4. So from this program what you should understand is break will always break from the loop where it exists. Okay, when you say break, you can't see how to break from the outer loop. So in that case, what you should do? How to break from the outer loop?
Label.
Let's give a label here. Let me give outer colon. Okay. So this is the label name here, isn't it? Now what I will give here? Break outer. Now tell me the output of the program. When I equal to 0, what is the answer? When I equal to 0, it will print 0 1 2.
1 2 3 4.
It will break outer. So it will come out of outer for loop also. So it will come to this line. There is no code. So it will stop the program. So the output is this. Okay. That's it. And that's it for today. Thank you all for watching my video.